Welcome to Foodies TV. I'm Leah, and if you're passionate about great restaurants, this is the perfect place for you. I'm sure you've heard about the Michelin Guide, but how many Michelin restaurants have you actually ever visited? 3-Star Stories is our own special format on Foodies, and it is the first web series that explores the best restaurants around the world. Hosted by Andy Hayler, a food critic, and the only person to have eaten in all of those 3-star restaurants in the guide. Today we asked him to rank the most iconic dishes he ever had.
This is one of the most influential dishes ever. It's from a restaurant called Tragro, which is placed in Roanne, a little sleepy place not too far from Lyon in eastern France. And the Tragro family have been running this for a long, long time, and several generations of chefs have retained 3 Michelin stars. This particular dish was from Pierre Tragro in the 70s. At that time, fish dishes tended to be very creamy, very heavy. And this dish was a sort of counterpoint to that. The idea was to take salmon and then have it with a beurre blanc sauce, which is quite sharp, which has got vermouth and white wine and shallots. And the sorrel adds a bit of tartness, which balances the salmon. This was a real surprise at the time because it went counter to what everybody else was doing and had a huge influence way beyond the restaurant and way beyond France. For this dish we moved to Paris to a very famous restaurant in itself called Tour d'Argent, which if you've ever seen the movie Ratatouille is actually what the setting is based on for the cartoon. This restaurant is famous for one dish in particular, which is canard à la presse. And the idea of this dish is a particular duck, which when you actually eat at a restaurant, you get a little postcard with the number of the duck. That's the number that have been served in the restaurant. And the duck is served with a very rich sauce that's made from the innards of the duck. And what happens is there's a big sort of silver tower that's brought, and the duck is actually crushed inside of the apparatus, and that brings out the blood and the flavour of the innards, which are then mixed with cognac and produce an extremely rich, beautiful sauce. So this is an incredibly famous dish, and if you ever go to Paris to Tour d'Argent, you can get your own little numbered card, and you'll be the millionth and something customer who's ever eaten it. For this dish we travelled to Sydney to a restaurant called Tetsuya, which actually used to be in the suburbs when I first went there, but it's now in the centre of Sydney. And this is one of the few really iconic dishes from Australia. Admittedly the chef's Japanese, but still. This ocean trout is slow cooked and is rested on over a bed of shaved fennel, and it's garnished with various things, including with a bit of coriander and others. And it's a particularly beautiful dish when you see it. It's very striking, but the lovely thing is that the flavours also work really, really well together. So the fennel and salmon is an excellent combination, and it really is a terrific dish. When I first had this, I was very, very impressed back in the 1990s. It's a very representative dish of Tetsuya. This dish is from Heston Blumenthal of the Fat Duck, 3 Michelin star restaurant for many years. And perhaps no dish has particularly summed up his very innovative style than the sounds of the sea. The dish, when it's presented, looks like a little bit of beach. So there's some sort of powder which is actually edible, which looks like the sand, and you have little shellfish appearing and on the beach. Lots of little components. But the thing that's different about this dish is that there's an audio component. So you're given a little shell in which is in fact an iPod, and you plug it in, and you're played sounds of the sea, seagulls and waves crashing, that kind of thing. And supposedly there have been academic studies to show that your appreciation of dishes is influenced by the kind of audio effects like this. And it's certainly a very unusual dish, and to my knowledge it was the first time anyone's ever tried to use sound in quite that way to influence a dish. So Sounds of the Sea from Heston Blumenthal.
Wow, Andy, that was amazing. I'm now very hungry. Looking to see more great dishes? Well then check out the rest of our videos on our channel or on the website. We rank the most beautiful dishes in the world, the best dishes and the most bizarre dishes, so don't go anywhere and just click on the next video.